I've loaded everybody in the car. We're going out for the day, maybe to the park, maybe to the beach, or maybe we're taking a trip up in the mountains to go snowboarding, but there's a lot of weight in the car. So how does electronic brake force distribution know that there's weight in the car? As I'm driving to work every day, it measures the weight of the car by the size and rotation of the wheel speed. When I add 5 passengers in there, so me and 4 others, then the weight goes up. I need more throttle to move the car, and the wheels are squashed so the RPM goes up. So it can actually tell where the weight has been placed in the car and move the brake prowess from front to rear. If I go hard to the brake pedal, then immediately brake assist and brake force distribution are going to move the brake to the front wheels because that's where the load's going. But the coolest thing about this is it works with a lateral G sensor, lateral gravitational sensor. The more I turn the car to the left, the more everybody moves to the right. Harder left turn, more roll to the right. So if I'm turning the car and I hammer the brakes, that's the worst place to put the brakes on. But the lateral gravitational sensor will move the braking prowess to the outside where the load is to make you safer in a straight line stop or slowing the car down or stopping in a curve. Electronic brake force distribution is the brake system that can think. Every car manufacturer now is adding stability control. Toyota calls it vehicle stability control, and with the Camry, with the electric power steering, we call it enhanced VSC. So it reacts quicker. So some of the things that we want to understand about vehicle stability control is it corrects oversteer and understeer. Oversteer is when I turn the wheel and the car goes straight. Oversteer is where the rear end tries to pass the front end. Let me say that again. Understeer is when the car is pushing, I'm turning, but it's still going straight. Oversteer is where the rear end is trying to pass the front end. So, how does the car know? Well, where I point the steering wheel is where the car is going to go. So I guess what we've been saying corrects oversteer and understeer really is not the truth. The truth is where you point the steering wheel is where the car is going to try to go. So steering wheel position sensor. And remember, if you're making a sweeping left-hand turn, then the inside wheel here is going to travel the shortest distance, and the outside wheel over here is going to travel the longest distance. That math right there lets the computer know that we're in that left-hand turn. Next, roll rate and yaw rate sensors. Now, in an understeer situation, the more I turn the steering wheel, the more roll I'm going to get to the outside. So it's kind of roll to the outside, roll to the outside. So it measures that roll of the car and understands the dynamics of the turn. In yaw rate is where the rear end tries to pass the front end. It's kind of like this, where some of y'all like that, some of y'all don't. Yaw rate. So I've got the roll and yaw rate sensor, and then the throttle position sensor. In an understeer situation, it's probably because the driver was driving too fast when they exited a ramp or tried to make the turn. So what happens is it measures where your foot is in the throttle. So it looks at all of these things and says, hey man, there's a problem going on. I've got to turn the only thing off in the car not working, which is the driver. And the ETCSI, which is the electronic throttle control system with intelligence, shuts the throttle down. Listen, here's what it sounds like in a Prius. See? Hope I made you laugh right there. So it slows the car down, I make the turn. And then the ABS is controlled by the computer. Think about this. It can brake one or multiple wheels. Kind of like a zero-turn lawnmower where you use the brakes to turn. And it hooks the car to where you're pointing the steering wheel. If you take a moment and make your customer understand exactly how stability control works and how we've enhanced it, it magnifies the presentation. Vehicle stability control. Finalizing PK52 Star Safety System on location in Hurst, Texas. Again, a shout out to the Bill Kids guys. Listen, Smart Stop. It's very simple. We don't ever want a throttle situation like we had in 2010, whether the media talked about it and made it bigger than it was, or whether there was really a throttle pedal that got entrapped by a floor mat, which can happen. If the throttle can't come back, that's a big problem. So what Toyota's done is they put Smart Stop technology in. So if the throttle is open and you go rapid to the brake, the computer immediately knows, hey, that shouldn't have happened. So it throttles the car down to idle. So again, if the throttle's open and I go hard to the brake, the computer realizes what's going on and throttle is cut to idle. STAR's safety system. That's our base of the safety we put in Toyota. Magnify that, make the customer understand it, and have a good time with them when you explain it. This has been STAR Safety PK52.